All right, I had started typing this on my blog, but my wrist is too sore to type. So I've decided I will expand on it verbally. School, school, special needs. Now, I took photos for the blog, so I'll share those photos. I've, I'm struggling to get the kind of support I need. This is for those parents who are like me, who are just trying to mix and match, put things together for the sake of our children. And so, when I'm thinking of ways to help them, because I can't find any help out there and there's no school, I have to then think, all right, she has poor working memory, her brother has poor working memory. How do I strengthen that? How do I make it, how do I build it, like work it like a muscle so that it gets stronger? And one of the typical things is working memory is memorizing things, having to remember that, okay, that and that were over there while you're doing something else, and then come back to the that and that were over there. And so we do. So when I went to a Christian bookshop, I was looking for books, but there weren't really many books that were suitable. I was looking for books for my 4-year-old, and there weren't that many really. It was just typical Bible, and we've got like 4 toddler Bibles. We've got enough. So I then took a card game. Let me just at least show it anyway, and I'll still also show the picture. And one of the things that has is the ability for you to play Snap, because they've got 4 pairs, 4 sets of cards that are the same, number 1 to 10, and another number 1 to 10, all the same. So all the number 1s are 1 elephant, and all the number 2s are 2 whatevers, like that. And what I did today, because today was the first time we did it. The other times I've played matching games either on the iPad, or I've done them with different cards and things that I found online on Take-A-Lot. So we did today the Bible one, or the Christian one that I got at CUM Books in Canal Walk. And I loved the fact that I didn't even need to point out that it has Bible verses at the bottom. So I, set out, I didn't put too many pairs. As I said, it's up to 10. So there are 10, you can do 10 pairs for the children. So because this is Emmy and Mickey, and I don't want to tire them out, I only did 4 pairs that match. And then, of course, the way it is you turn over 2, look at them, you all look at them, turn them back down. All, of course, if miraculously they both are the same thing, then you take it, you've got it, and they've matched. So that was the aim, so that they remember that, okay, the camel and the donkey were there. Oh, I've got a camel and a dog. Where was the camel again? And that is then the working memory, remembering quickly in your head where something was, while you're also turning over and busy with something else and putting the information together. I'm probably butchering what working memory is, but that's what it is. It's keeping something in your head while you're working on something that will go with it. So we played that and they loved it. They were happy and they were sad that it was over. So I'm glad we did that. And now with my twins, they are so different. My 4-year-old girl, the very high functioning, as they would have called it back then, she is now very, I need company. She is, mommy read to me. So, and I'll show another picture of something else I'm doing to also support the children, because they've both got auditory processing, or especially my son, and has auditory processing disorder. So his brain doesn't hear properly. So I might say rain and he will hear rail, or yeah. So I then have also joined teaching talking, because his speech was assessed and he's got problems with his speech also. But it's easy for my daughter because she loves to read. And the things that I do when we read books, it's also, I wanted to say that this is all natural also to many of us mothers anyway. Because when we're reading with my daughter, she doesn't really like just to talk about the story. And I don't only read the story, I also ask, which is what this particular thing in the teaching talking set that I'm about to show you or have shown you does, is it's the picture. And we look at the picture in the book and we say, or I say, hey, what is she doing? Or is this dog black? And she must say no. And I also take note of the speech issues she's got. So instead of saying, who is this? She likes to say, how is this? And I then model the proper way to ask the question. Right now, she's obsessed with David and Goliath. It's a book, it's a seek and find book. So on the left page, they tell the story a bit of the story. And then they say, can you find? And then they show, can you find a sheep? Can you find a palm tree? Can you find a dog or whatever? And then on the next page, on the page opposite, on the right side, they have the whole picture. And then in the picture, you must then find the gecko, find the sheep, etc. So we discuss it. Those books are already set up to help with discussion, to help with receptive speech, to help. And then besides finding those things, which also helps with visual perception and visual discrimination, which are also things my middle two struggle with, we then discuss. I ask her, where's the cloud? Show me the cloud. So I know that she knows what a cloud is. I ask her to name the thing I'm pointing at. So she must name it, so I can tell if her pronunciation is correct, because they all struggle with pronunciation also. And then so we discuss. So I guess the positive with having the teaching talking membership is that then there are many other formats and different pages and different ways we can discuss life instead of just in the books. So we can do the beach one and say, can you talk about this? Can we even talk about the sand? If she's been to the beach, I can ask her, what does the sand feel like? Do you like walking on the sand? When you went to the beach, what did you do? And then she must start narrating. So those are the other tips for helping with speech in a formal way. It's to ask the children to discuss what they did, to relate to a picture, if they've experienced or had that experience, or to ask, what do you think this boy is feeling? Why is he feeling like this? Does he look happy? Does he look sad? So those are the tips. And I record. So for now, for example, my minimally talking angel will say, cereal, cereal. Or she might say, I want cereal. Or she might say, want cereal. But then she never says, thank you. So I will then record. I'll get my teenagers, well, that's what I did today, and say to them, okay, you hand something to her and then don't say thank you. And then I will say, uh-oh, Ella didn't say something. Ella must say, so that it's in her head, she knows. Because, just because they don't speak doesn't mean it's not in their brains. Just because she doesn't say thank you doesn't necessarily mean it's not there. But as some have said, there's a block, a wall, like something that stops the word coming out. So I'm just building on that and reminding. So we act out things like that, or I get them to act out things like that. And also to correct the how is this when my other one means who is this. I will video the floor and say, who is this? And then record my face and say, oh, it's mommy. So yeah, that's the other thing I do for them, because they do learn well watching the screen. Sad to say because so people are angry about screen time, though the quality of the screen is also what matters, what's on the screen. So yeah, those are my tips for today. Read. Oh, and the other thing I do, read. Yes, read this pop-up peekaboo book. I record myself reading only one page, just one page at a time. This one talks about a racetrack, and then there's a car that's hiding a racing car. Now, we don't do racing. We don't watch race videos. So what I then do is I record only one page, talk about the things on the page, the colors, or whatever. And then I find a toddler-friendly video that also discusses that topic. So I will go find race cars for kids, and then they will see what a real racetrack is like, but the person is aiming it at little children. And then I put them together on video on my app, and then I share it and I put it on their iPads, so that when they are together, they all learn about race cars and they get to know more of the world. So yeah, those are my tips to model the behavior through video, the required behavior or the preferred behavior. Thank you, for example, when to say thank you. It's to have card games, different ways of prompting or building on the skills that they are not strong, that are not there, they're not good at yet, or they don't have much of yet. It is also having memberships to therapeutic pages and websites where you can add on to your natural mommy knowledge and tips, your natural mommy abilities, yes, or daddy abilities, wherever you are who's homeschooling a special needs child, just to add on to it. Some of it is so obvious anyway. Some of it you will do anyway when you're playing, like putting different sensory things. You will, or I would, already make them play with water and bubbles, make them blow bubbles naturally. But it's not natural to everybody. And sometimes you get so busy that you forget that those tips and those activities do exist. So yes, that is just what I wanted to do. Just show or remind you what you can do that will be therapeutic but also fun for the children. I hope that helped someone out there. Oh, yes, hair. It was a hair washing day. So I washed my hair. It's wet. I still cover my head. I just said that just to mess around with people who said they were hoping that I would stop. I haven't stopped yet. My hair is wet. I washed it today. Do your best. You don't have to do everything today. The most important thing is that your children know that they are loved, that you are their safe space. They can learn at 12. They don't have to learn at age 8. They can learn when they're 21. For me, the most important thing is that our children are happy and comfortable and that they have a strong foundation. It's pointless my trying to make them memorize 4 times 4 if they don't understand what the number 4 represents. Okay, take care.